How y'all doing? Chinese here. So, I was talking to someone and he mentioned how there was chaos happening among black youth on the south side of Chicago in the Inglewood area. And they're basically wilding out. And he was like, and I always pose the question, where's the father? Where are the fathers? And he's like, that shouldn't matter. Um, I take issue with that because it does matter. If you have a father who is really active in your life and who is a wise man, he's going to guide you, you know. Um, if you have a kind of relationship where you feel comfortable talking to him as a teenager about any and everything or a lot of things, then your father will guide you, right? Let you fall sometimes, but be there to pick you up and redirect you, encourage you. And he was stating that it shouldn't matter that as a teenager, there are choices that he could have gotten into madness, but he chose not to. And it's just that simple. Um, please share your thoughts because I think it is that simple sometimes. I agree. Sometimes you see your peers getting into from foolishness and you're like, I'm not trying to get in trouble like that. I'm not doing all that. I'm out. See y'all later. Right? Some teenagers have this very strong will and they have a sense of self and they're not followers and so they just like, I'm not doing that. Y'all crazy. Well, we know not every teenager has such a strong will and a strong sense of self, right? And that's where the father or the uncle or the grandfather in their life will intercede again if they feel comfortable enough to share what they're going through with their peers, right? That's assuming that's the case. But I think sometimes I get overwhelmed because I'm like, well, what can I do, China, to help resolve this issue? But at the end of the day, I really feel like men in our community need to be troubleshooting how to combat and how to minimize these these events of chaos, you know, brought on by these young people, these teenagers, right? Um, because if it's young men who are doing this violence, all this causing all this chaos, then I think it needs to be men who are wiser and older, more mature, to be there to intercede. Now you have to be careful, of course, because some teenagers don't respect adults and they're like, F you, whatever, get out of my face. I'll do what I have to do. I don't care that you're an adult. So I acknowledge that too. So, but there's something in me that is so compassionate towards young black youth. I think because I empathize, I remember that I was a teenager and I had adults in my life who guided me, who cared about me, who called me out when I was fucking up, you know? Even if it was a neighbor. I was too worried about getting in trouble with my mother, so a lot of times they didn't even have to do any of that. But there were times when I was a teenager coming home from high school, I'd be loud, singing loud, irritating adults, loud, annoying. That's really the only kind of trouble I got into. Like, I would get smart with fellow students, but as far as creating chaos and joining gangs, that just wasn't me. But again, I had adults in my life who were guiding me, redirecting me, calling me out, showing love. And some teenagers need more of that than others. Some teenagers need more guidance than other teenagers. And I think we need to stop letting um, fathers who are choosing not to be involved off the hook. Like, you fathers need to step up. When I see gangbangers on YouTube basically advertising about that they have illegal guns, like, I'm always like, where are the fathers? Where are the adult men in their lives? You can't tell me if you can't tell me if your mother and father in the crib, you're gonna be having a bunch of having your friends over with a bunch of guns. You can't. No, I just. But not forget my opinion, but I want to know, do you feel like the black man in our community, the men, need to be a part of the troubleshooting to minimize this crime among peers? Will it take? It's gonna take men in our community, not women. Not saying that women can't contribute. We can contribute to like the intellectual part of it, but as far as men getting out in the streets, of course, being careful, because some young people will shoot you and think nothing of it, right? But I think it's more impactful if men troubleshoot and try to minimize and interact with these young people in a safe way, right? Where they gain their trust. Let me know your thoughts. I want to know your opinion. Please comment below. Thanks.